Mic check, mic check. What's going on, world? You already know it's your boy SB, and I'd like to welcome y'all back to episode 12 of season 5 of the Roll Up Podcast. As always, before we get the ball rolling, I just wanted to take some time to say thank you for streaming the Roll Up Podcast. Thank you for all the likes, comments, and shares that y'all doing on social media. The campaign is getting stronger, the numbers going up, the community is being built, and without y'all, none of that would be possible. So I want to say thank you again for taking some time and spending it with the Roll Up Podcast. It goes without saying, but this is just a friendly reminder that this podcast is about taking it to the next level. This platform is for all of those who are tired of waiting to be saved and those who are ready to be the hero in their own story. And it's been a journey to get to where we are today, and the fact that you're starting the day off listening to the Roll Up Podcast lets me know that you're ready to get in the game and handle business. But before we get into today's conversation, I would like to extend an invitation, if you haven't done so already, to please like, comment, and subscribe to the campaign. We're taking over the algorithm this year, so help me out. Share it with a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend to stream the Roll Up Podcast. Make sure you follow the campaign via social media at the Roll Up Podcast. Be sure to tap into the SauceBradyExperience.com. That's the official hub of the Roll Up Podcast. I got a lot of great content that's about to get added to the movement, and the one sure way to not miss a beat is to tap in and stay up to date with what's going on via the website. Also, you can check out the Sauce Factory and grab you some merch. The Season 5 collection is available right now. The spot is open 24/7, so whenever you're ready to get right, make sure you use code TRUPOD at checkout. That's TRUPOD to receive 30% off your merch. I really got one of the hardest podcast merch collections out right now, so make sure you hit the Sauce Factory and see it for yourself so you know I ain't lying. Also, I have 2 books for sale right now on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. One is titled Here's the Truth. The other is titled You Deserve Better. Both are great reads, and as you set out to achieve greatness, they should be both a great starting point, and they'll be pretty relatable, so it'll give you the extra nudge to keep going. You can check those out on the SauceBradyExperience.com as well. I also will be starting a new campaign titled Gaming with Sauce, where I live stream some of my favorite video games, and we'll also do a Q&A so we can chop it up so y'all can get to know me a little bit better. So make sure y'all tap into that movement as well. And lastly, if you want to donate to the Roll Up Podcast, if you want to help keep the campaign afloat, I'm gonna get some new camera equipment. Want to get my production board back. Want to do a lot of giveaways. So make sure you tap into the Patreon.com/SBTV. You can make a monthly subscription. I got I want to say 3 or 4 different tiers. Each tier comes with its own perks and benefits. I'm going to be doing a lot of behind the scenes content on there as well. So make sure y'all stay tapped into that. So now that we got the business out the way, we're going to go ahead and dive into today's conversation. And on today's episode, I'm going to give you some comfort as you make a successful attempt to move past your past. And today's quote from Carl Jung sums it up perfectly. And it reads, I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. And among the many things required to be successful, accepting your past is the hardest part, but it's the most rewarding. Healing is a very uncomfortable process that requires you to accept your past as what it is and make the conscious decision to choose a better route. The part of healing that a lot of people don't talk about isn't forgiving others, but it's taking accountability for our own demise. During this phase of the journey, it's going to require looking yourself in the mirror and understanding that it was you who put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. Therefore, it is you who is solely responsible for saving yourself from said situations. There was a time in my life where I didn't make the best decisions. There was a time where I couldn't look myself eye to eye in the mirror due to the simple fact that I wasn't proud of the person that was looking back. There was a time where I fell victim to self-sabotage and I ruined the very blessings that I had prayed for. It was only after deep meditation that I came to the conclusion that I am not my mistakes, and if I was planning on getting to the next level, I had to let go of who I used to be and choose to take a different approach to life. When you make the decision to transcend your past, not only are you actively choosing a better version of yourself, you are doing one of the most ultimate acts of self-love by showing yourself a little grace. As we touched on in the last season, grace is the face that love wears when it meets imperfection. And by showing ourselves grace, for as Mel Robbins put it, doing what we had to do to survive, we are leaving the victim mentality and we're walking into the victor mentality. The trials and tribulations that were sent to break us weren't to show us how weak we were. They weren't bestowed upon us, to highlight our insecurities and our shortcomings. They were given to us to prove how strong we really are. A lot of people get caught up in this step because they are too afraid of their past. They are ashamed of the person that they once were, and they are incapable of seeing who they could be. Whether we want to admit it or not, we all have a past. We all have done things we aren't proud of, but when we choose a different route, we are taking the necessary steps to move into the person that we need to be. The very situations that I mentioned above will also serve as our testimony. When people look at us and see how far we've came, they will gain the confidence to make changes in their lives. Like I mentioned before, we are all like trees, and the roots that intertwine and connect us are our stories of overcoming adversity. People are watching our every move. They may not acknowledge it verbally, but the way we handle certain situations will be the light that someone needs on their journey. The way we remain stoic and keep our cool under pressure will give someone else courage to do the same. And the main theme of this year's season of the podcast, is making a comeback. You may have made some silly decisions in the past and put yourself in a tough predicament. You may have also fell into the cycle of self-sabotage. You may have been financially or emotionally irresponsible. You may have played with fire too long and got burned. The important thing to remember here is in the opening quote, you aren't what happened to you, you are who you choose to become. So starting today, let's let go of the past. Let's forgive ourselves for making mistakes. Let's show ourselves some love and stop being the toughest critic all the time. Again, when you're rooted in gratitude, you are grateful for the experiences that help shape you and are also grateful for the opportunity to seize the moment and take action to better your situation. The journey to wherever you're trying to get to will be an ugly one, but as long as you stay focused on the goal at hand, every decision you make will reflect the person you are choosing to become. So with that being said, it's been a pleasure, as always, to spend a little slice of time with you. I hope I said something in this episode that will cause you to give yourself some grace and make sure we don't repeat the same decisions twice. I hope I said something today that will help you along your healing journey to move past your past self, to appreciate your current self, and step into your future self. So, in closing, make sure y'all follow the campaign via social media at The Roll Up Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the campaign via YouTube. Make sure you, wherever you seek motivation, man, subscribe to the campaign, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you get your motivation, make sure you subscribe to the Roll Up Podcast. Make sure you hit the Sauce Factory, grab you some merch, use code TRUPOD, that's TRUPOD at checkout to get 30% off your order. Make sure you grab one or two of my books via thesaucebradyexperience.com. And as always, man, smoke you some gas because you deserve it. Stay blessed. It's your boy. Peace.